listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level. Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Hello and welcome, or hopefully it's welcome back. And you've been joining us all morning. We are so excited to have you with us. You are watching Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure. We are so happy that you're here. I am your host, executive producer, director, and broadcast engineer. Joining me today, as always, is my good friend and lovely human being, Diann Floyd Boehm. Hello, Diann.
Hi, it's great to see you.
It's great to see you too. I just can't believe how quickly the weeks fly by. Can you?
No, not at all. At all. The last time you saw me, I was in Austin, Texas, and now I'm back in Kingwood. Just an FYI.
I was going to say because of your bookcase. Yes, you've been very busy. Tell us what you've been doing.
Well, we're in the process of moving, and so it's a slow move back to our family home in Austin. So it's very, very exciting. So painting walls, getting things all party in Texas talk.
That is very exciting. And of course, behind you, we see that all of your beautiful books, beautiful book covers. Tell us a little bit about your work as an international award-winning author.
Oh, thank you for the introduction. I write books for all ages, really, but they're children's books, they're picture books. Some of them I've illustrated, my daughter's illustrated, and I try to bring out illustrators from different parts of the world as well. And I try to write books that deal with loving yourself, being kind to others, and wishing for ways to help bring peace on earth the best that we can. And if you notice, I have your new book in the background too. So
I see that. Thank you so much. We just on the show before, we had Red O'Laughlin, as you know, who's on our team of charter presenters. That's another whole subject. But yeah, he's the one who helped get the book published so quickly. And I only met him because of you.
It's wonderful how we're all connected and we're meant to meet.
It sure is. So we've got a great guest today, and her area of expertise is something near and dear to pretty much everybody, right?
Yes, definitely.
And regardless of how much hair you have, as you know, mine was much longer. I think yours is getting longer.
Yes, I'm trying to grow it out. I cut it, but
yeah,
now it's longer again. I feel naked if I don't have long hair.
It's so crazy. Like I just cut. Good.
Sorry, there used to be this doll. You're probably too young to remember, but I think it was Chatty Cathy, and you pushed a button and her hair would grow. And I just loved it, and then you could stuff it back in and she could have short hair. So I'd like to have a button like, I think I want this look today, or I want that look. But thank God for wigs. But anyway, I'm sure Dawn is going to tell us how to look scrumptious all the time.
Yes, let's bring her out. Joining us from Alexandria, Virginia, it's Dawn. Last name is Dawn
Carvajal.
I practiced it and I didn't get it right, so I'm sorry. We are so thrilled to have you here with us today. Your hair is looking quite beautiful.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. This is wonderful. Thank you.
I think it's always fun when there's three women together. We're going to talk about something as important as hair, because it really does have an impact on how we feel about ourselves, doesn't it?
It does. Absolutely.
It can make or break your day, actually.
It can. And if you're not feeling well and you have a nice shampoo and blowout, and it makes you feel better, it lifts your spirits emotionally, physically. It's really funny how that works, but it's true. It really does.
I think that's why, like my mom's generation, and I think we all need to start doing this. Like every Friday after work, Mama would hit the salon. And I think, and then on Saturdays, that was always my grandma and Aunt Pat, and then I joined them. But I think they did it not just to look well, but for that amazing shampoo. Because if you're feeling bad and someone's just rubbing your head, you feel great, right? So women, go get your hair shampoo.
Really, it's funny because a lot of my guests will say, "Oh, that was the best," they just, and it really does become the best part of the service for some people. It's wonderful.
It's so true. And then I love when they rinse you with the cold water that you normally wouldn't be standing in the shower with the cold. It's just, it's just fantastic. So Dawn, we have your banner streaming, but tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of how did you find your passion in helping other people with their appearance, with their hair?
Wow, that goes way back, actually, when you were mentioning Chatty Cathy the doll. I was thinking that I had one of those, and I used to play with her. But how I found my passion for this really is through my sister, who is also a hairstylist. A long time ago, back in 1980, when she had her first salon, she encouraged me to go to hairdressing school and do hair with her. And that's how it all got started. And this career has been wonderful for me. I raised children, working in a salon around their schedules. It's amazing the feeling I get knowing that I've made people feel better and look better. And it's just been wonderful. And the salon right now is located in Alexandria, Virginia, in the West End. We're in a community called Watergate at Landmark. It's a luxury resort type community, condominium community. And that's where our salon is. We have a lot of support from this community. It's just fabulous.
Dawn, how did the pandemic affect business? Were you closed at any point?
We were closed. We were closed for 13 weeks.
Wow.
And
wow, that's hard.
It was a scary time, but actually it turned out to be one of the best times for me. Not in anything related to the pandemic, but that I became a member of a group of salon owners that was put together by some of the best coaches in our industry that helped us through this. Every single night for 2 hours, they gave us education and helped us to navigate what was happening and to be able to have the tools and the knowledge we needed to reopen.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
I learned a lot about business and about survival. I mean, it was fabulous in a way that all of the guests that come to my salon were so supportive. We kept in touch. They sent me emails. They supported me emotionally. And it was a big learning experience.
Dawn, was there a point when you were concerned that maybe you weren't going to be able to stay in business?
For me, there was not, because of the location of my salon. I'm in the condominium community and I have a lot of support here. So I knew that it was going to be different going forward once we reopened. The first month we were open, it was like the floodgates opened. Everybody couldn't wait to get back and get their hair done. I mean, it's hard on our guests as it was on us. And then after that, it slowed down a little bit because people were still scared. But now that people are getting vaccinated and, feeling safer, it's getting back.
Well, we're glad that you made it through. And I actually think I've been to those condominiums for some reason. It sounds very familiar. It's in a very nice area.
It is.
Yes. Yeah. Wonderful. So a question I have and Diann, I don't know if you've ever been wondering about this, but when someone comes to you like with this hairstyle, they have a picture. It's like, oh, I want to look like this. And what do you say to yourself? Like, is it possible every time to make somebody look like the picture, or how do you feel when you get those pictures?
I understand when people do that because you see this beautiful model or actress and you want to look like them. I mean, we all want to look like a fabulous actress or model. But the things that you have to discuss with the guests and that they need to take into consideration is the type of hair that they have, the thickness, the density, the length. All of those things are contributing factors to the end result in a hairstyle.
Good point. Good point. I know that I've always wanted to find out what I'd look like with black hair. And I even went into a store to buy a wig, and I wanted black, and she's like, "No, sorry, you can buy it, but it's not going to be your best look." So, I think it's better to go with what the experts say, because people like you have been doing this for a long time, and you want the best for your client.
Mm-hmm. Well, there is a lot of thought that goes into it as far as coloring of your skin, your eyes, whether you have a cool tone to your skin or a warm tone to your skin. Those are all things that we take into consideration when we're formulating a color for our guests.
There's a real science behind it all.
There really is. There really is. And when you put the wrong color on somebody, you know it right away.
Dawn, in terms of color, we could go to our local drugstore. We could go to the grocery store. We could pick up a box of color. What is your advice to people who are thinking, you know what, I could just do it myself versus going to a salon?
Well, the thing is, a lot of the success of a hair color is the application. And so, in my opinion, it's better to have someone who can see exactly where they're putting the placement, who knows about the chemistry of hair color and how it works, because you are not going to get necessarily the color on the picture of the box. It looks like, oh, this is a beautiful blonde and I have red hair or I have dark brown hair. And so I think I'm going to put this color on my hair and that's the color I'm going to get. But that is not true. There's a lot of science behind color and application.
And my understanding is, because I did some research into this, because I have scalp psoriasis. So for a while, I was not able to go to the salon. And what I found out was that the products that are available to the consumer in a grocery store or in a drugstore do not have the same ingredients as if you went to a beauty supply store where there's actually experts there who are beauticians or stylists. And it's like a chemistry project, mixing all the things together. You really have to know what you're doing.
Yes, that's true. You do need to know what you're doing, and it is a science. There's a lot of science behind it as far as knowing about underlying pigment and how that's going to react and the difference between a cool tone and a warm tone. So it really is safer to go and have someone who's trained to do the service for you.
And just to say that's absolutely correct, I'll share a quick story. So I was teaching kindergarten, and I decided I was going to color my own hair because my mama says, oh, you can do it, don't worry about it. So I get it all together, mix a little thing, put it in my hair, do a little line, put some, etc. And then I thought, wow, there's so much left. I think I'll just lump it all in. And so I lumped it all in, and then I thought, I think they really keep it on longer than what this box says. And so by the time I finished, I had purple hair. On Monday, when salons are closed, of course, Monday I go back to school, my students would not come into the classroom. They thought it was the Wicked Witch. I had to make an emergency phone call to my hairdresser to bleach my hair to get the color out and then start trying to get the pigment back in. So, yes, there's a science. I've never tried it after that.
And it's true, there can be such a thing as a hair emergency.
Oh, for sure. When I have a memory of when I was in college, there was a beauty school that was right near. I went for 2 years. I went to University of Delaware, and the beauty school was right there. And they were offering, $15, come in and get your hair colored and cut. So I went, and it was a disaster. And much like your story, it was totally over processed, bleached out, and I had to get it cut almost like I had a mohawk. That's how bad it was. And it was literally traumatizing. And I felt so bad for the girl who did it because, she tried hard and she was in school, and that's why the pricing was as it was. Does that still go on, Dawn, to your knowledge, where there are beauty schools where people are training and they're using human heads as opposed to, I don't know what you would use, but
It is true. There are beauty schools that do use live people, but you go through a certain amount of hours and you have to take tests, and you pass these tests, and they're all benchmarks before they'll move you onto the floor where you're going to be working on real people. And I think that the schools now, they're probably guiding more, and so that when a student is doing your hair, they're probably not going to do a next step until their teacher, their instructor, has come over and looked at what they've done so far and helped them make any adjustments they need to make. So that's what I think is going on in the school now. And their training doesn't end in school. Once they graduate from school and they move into the salon setting, that's where the real training and the real experience begins for them.
Mm. And we're glad that there's a lot of continuous training too, because there's always new things coming out, right? New processes, techniques.
Yes, there always is. And I'm a huge believer in continuing education. And I'm always trying to learn something new. I may not even use what I've learned, but at least I have the knowledge. I know what it is, and I can talk to people about it. But there always is new techniques. And something really interesting too is that there's a cycle. So that, like right now, there are haircuts that are coming back into fashion that 30 years ago were in style, 40 years ago, the shag. We just changed the shape of it.
I love the shag.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yes, it is beautiful.
And you can do it, shoulder length, you can do a long shag, you can do chin length shag. It's just amazing. And so how about this one, the mullet?
Oh, yeah, the mullet.
Yeah. The mullet is making a comeback, but it's got a twist, and it's made more modern. It's not shaved on the sides and spiky on the top and then long on the back. It's more, it's the same idea of the shortness through the crown, the top, and the sides, but then it has fringiness, a little longer fringiness around the neck. And same thing, you can do that in different lengths too. So everything old is new again in this business. It's fun. It's really fun to see how things evolve. And one little shift in the shears or in your hand placement will change the whole look.
And what if I was cutting, you'd have to end up being bald because I would shift and everything up.
Well, then you could just have a really short pixie.
That's true.
Yes.
I'm glad
so much fun. We need to take a break and hear from actually a beautiful artist whose name is Ilo. I've been playing her video clip because I feel like it's so moving. Every time I hear the song, I get chills. Her record label is Licorice Dragon Records is the record label. And her name is Ilo. And her song is Heroes in Disguise. You can get a copy for yourself over on iTunes. So let's hear from Ilo, and then we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Picture this, a life where you can leave your pain, a life where you can start again somehow. Picture this, a vision that can change a prayer, happy heart that's always there in the now. So don't be afraid of fear, you know, as long as we're still here, we can be anything larger than life, rise up from the ground. We can fall down over 10,000 times, then turn it all right back around. We never imagined how good life can be, but inside you and me we can see past these ghosts in the mirror. We're heroes in disguise. skies. Picture this, losing everything you got, never having had a lot, but holding on and on and on. Don't be afraid to dream, 'cause we are so much closer than it seems. We can be anything larger than life, rise up from the ground. We can fall down over 10,000 times, then turn it all right back around. We never imagined how good life can be, but inside you and me, we can see past these ghosts in the mirror. We can be anything larger than life, rise up from the ground. We can fall down over 10,000 times, then turn it all right back around. We never imagined how good life can be, but inside you and me, we can see past these ghosts in the mirror. Heroes in disguise. Heroes in disguise. Heroes in disguise. Heroes in disguise. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the buzz authority show on the planet, and the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Hello and welcome back. You are still watching Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure. My co-host,
Hi, everyone.
Diann, and our beautiful guest, Dawn. In our first segment, we were talking really about a number of things, how the pandemic impacted Dawn and her business, and also what the difference is in box of coloring, hair coloring that you might buy yourself as opposed to going to a salon. I'd like to talk a little bit about hair fitness. I think this is something that's really important. Dawn, when somebody sits in your chair, or one of the stylists who works for you, and they've got hair that's all broken off or it's filled with split ends, you might think to yourself, maybe they don't have the best nutrition or over processing. So do you ever give any guidance about how to take care of your hair?
Yes, certainly. And it's all of that. It's nutrition, it's medications that people may be taking. It can be a decline in hormones. These are things that all affect our hair. But one of the biggest items I find that has the most impact on our hair is the overuse of hot tools. People with curly hair want to smooth their hair out, and they love that flat iron, so they're flat ironing like crazy. And the next thing you know, their hair is drying out, it's having heat damage, and that will cause the split and brittle ends. And they think their hair isn't growing when actually what's happening is the ends are breaking off over the constant use of heat. So the less amount of time you spend with heat tools in your hair, the better off your hair is going to be. And using products, quality professional products, the ingredients are usually a step above the things that you can buy that are not professional products. And make sure that you're using a shampoo and a conditioner for your type of hair, whether it's color treated, curly, coarse. There are all different types of products out there that are specific for the type of hair that they're meant to be used on. And using a mask or a deep conditioner once a week is key, I believe.
Good information. Dawn, so for people who are shopping in their local grocery store and they see one bottle that has it all, shampoo, conditioner, and it's $2.99. Thoughts on that as a good purchase?
I don't recommend those types of products because I know I'm like a product snob, but the products that have all of that in one, they tend to build up on the hair. And when the product builds up on the hair, it will coat the hair and it will sometimes interfere with the chemical process that you may be wanting to receive, whether it's a color or a perm. So then you have to go through the whole clarifying process before you can do those services over hair that's been built up with waxes.
With wax.
Exactly what I thought. Waxes. Thank you. Thank you for that. Question. A question I have to your earlier comment. So if someone has split ends and they've got a pair of scissors at home, should they start trimming off the split ends?
Well, I can say no all day long, but that's not going to stop someone from doing that if they want to do that. I have to say I've done it myself. But I would just recommend seeing your stylist every 4 to 6 weeks, depends really on the length of your hair, to have regular trims. It makes a world of difference. It really does. And for those that, have split ends that they don't want to cut off, I have a product that's by Brazilian Blowout. It's called Split End Repair. And it's an add-on service at the end of your appointment. It's applied to the hair and then it's blown dry and then flat ironed into the hair. And it does an amazing job of sealing those split ends. And that's a great alternative for people who just don't want to cut their hair.
And what's that called again? I want that.
It's called the Split End Repair.
Oh, wow.
Split End Repair.
It's called what it is. It's a split end repair service. It's a cream that's applied, blown dry, and then flat iron. And it helps to seal those split ends. And
so people can call you and reach out to you to have this shipped to them, I would assume.
No, it's actually an in-salon service.
Oh, okay. So it goes together. Okay, so you put the product on and then perform the service.
Sounds like you and I need to go there, Dr. Jacalyn.
Yes, definitely. Of course, my hair's so short now. So I cut off about, I think, 7 inches maybe during the pandemic. So
really?
Nice. Yes. So Dawn, one thing I'd like to ask you, for people who are interested in getting into the business of owning a salon, obviously there's a lot of things you just talked about, things that you learned as a business owner from other people. What would you suggest to them that maybe some steps that they take if they want to be a salon owner?
Well, I think that one of the first things that you have to do is create a plan and have a vision of what it is that you would like to create. And then the SBA is a great resource for taking steps towards starting a business. I would definitely speak to an accountant and other people who are in the business and find out what you can learn from them about how they got started, because it's sometimes different for everyone. I was very lucky with my salon. I worked at the salon years ago. I left and was working in Georgetown for a while, and then the lady who owns the salon actually reached out to me, and she was looking to retire. And so she asked me if I was interested in purchasing the salon. So of course I spoke with an attorney, I spoke with an accountant. We spoke to each other numerous times and decided that it was something I wanted to move forward with. So I didn't have to start from scratch. This business was already there. And there are lots of businesses out there that people maybe are looking to retire from or move from. So I would just look everywhere.
Good direction. I'm wondering, in terms of people now who are stylists, how does it work if you're a stylist? Do you have to have your own book of business so I call you on the phone, I say, hey, Dawn, I'm a licensed, what is the terminology? Hairstylist?
Cosmetologists, beauticians, everything.
Beautician. What kind of questions are you going to ask me? Are you going to ask me, where have you worked before? Do you have a book of clients already?
Oh, is this somebody that I'm looking to add to my team in the salon?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, those are the things that you could ask, but really, I love finding new talent. People, I have a lady who is part of my team now. She started working with us on April 2nd. I reached out to the local hairstyling school or cosmetology school, and they actually referred her to me. So I think that's a great way to build a team, is with new talent that's fresh, and they just are so excited and happy to be a part of a team. And that's how I'm building my business.
That's great. That is so wonderful, because in any line of work, when you're trying to find a job and you're brand new and someone says, whoa, you need more experience. And I'm like, how am I going to get experience? So yay for you.
Yeah, that is terrific. Something else I have always wondered about. I worked in retail as a makeup artist part-time, on the side, because it was a fun thing to do. And it's very hard to stand. And I wasn't standing anywhere near the number of hours that people who work in salons. I'm standing now for all my shows, and it's very hard. So my question is, how does somebody stand for all those hours and still be productive and effective and almost like a therapist, right? When you have the client come in, everybody shares their whole life story as they get their hair done. So how do people who work for you, and how do you, two things, physically do the work, and then second, emotionally deal with everything you have to deal with from dealing with the public?
Okay, so the physical part of it is you wear comfortable shoes, very comfortable shoes. I wear flats most of the time, or a little bit of a wedge, because otherwise you can end up with back problems and feet problems if you don't wear comfortable shoes. You have to hydrate throughout the day. And this is something that was always hard for me, and it's hard for a lot of stylists. We'll go and take a bite of something or eat a potato chip rather than sit down and take a half-hour break and have a nice meal that is nutritious and going to get us through the day. So I would highly recommend that you do that during your day. And then you just have to sit down when you have a chance. Now, I've been doing this for a very, very long time, and I find myself standing even when I'm not behind the chair. I don't know why. It's just the way I do it. So, and the other part of it, the emotional part of it, or the mental part of it, is when you go to work, the people that are sitting in your chair, the work that you're there for, that's your focus. And you have beautiful conversations with people, and just enjoy it, have fun. That's what I do. I mean, when I go to work, I feel like I'm hanging out with all my girlfriends for the day. It's a state of mind that I think you have to get in.
I love that.
I think, yeah, I love that too. I noticed on your website also that you provide services for our hands and feet.
Yes. We have a nail person. Her name is a nail technician. Her name is Lake, and she does meticulous work. She is just amazing. Everybody raves about Lake.
I don't know about you two, but I love getting a pedicure.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So this is the thing about pedicures. People think that having a pedicure is a great indulgence. And so I guess it could be. But really, when you think about what your feet go through every single day, that they have to carry you around, they have to be squeezed into shoes, you have to walk places, isn't it a great idea to give those feet some TLC and come maybe every couple of weeks or even once a month? It's amazing the difference it makes in your overall well-being when your feet feel good.
It sure does. And your feet deserve it, don't they? It's like, I'm looking forward to,
I mean,
to getting. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say that when people come into the salon and they sit in the pedicure chair and they have the massage, the kneading, and the shih tzu behind their back, they just are like, oh, this is so wonderful. They love that chair. So, you know, do it more often. If you enjoy it, do it more often. Take care of yourself.
And sometimes you're so relaxed you even fall asleep.
I know.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen anyone fall asleep.
I've definitely fallen asleep. Maybe it's just me.
No, I've fallen asleep.
In the pedicure chair.
In the pedicure chair. Yep.
In the pedicure chair. Yes. Yes. Dawn, I
haven't seen you.
I know we talked about just briefly one of the products, but you've got a line of products, DMV, and I just wondered if you could share with us a little bit about your product line.
Okay, my product line is called Dawn Marie's Visage Hair Care. How I came across this product line is I met with a chemist who we worked together, putting together a line of products that would address all the needs that my clients could possibly have, whether their hair is dry or thin or thinning, whether they have chemically treated hair, color treated hair. The other thing is the keratin therapy shampoo, which is really good for people who have Brazilian blowouts and keratin treatments, smoothing treatments on their hair. This helps to strengthen and add keratin to their hair and maintains the longevity of their service. So those are just a few of the products that we have. We also have a hair serum. It's one of my favorites. I use this on everybody. It's marula and hemp oil. It's a very light oil that helps to preserve hair color. It adds shine. It protects from UV rays, whether it's from fluorescent lights, which can fade your hair color, or from sunlight. This will help protect and preserve your hair color, keep away any frizziness, smooth the cuticle. It's just my all-around favorite product.
I'll be right at your store. How fast can you get me there?
We've got to go. We're going to the salon. Dawn, you touched on something that's really important, especially as summer is coming around the corner. I think it's next week, the start of summer, but protecting our hair. I know when I go out, I like to do a lot of walking, and I wear a huge hat, but I also wear a bandana first so I don't mess up the hat. And what I found in years past is by covering up the pores in your scalp, you can start to lose your hair by pulling it back and putting a hat on. So any tips you might have for how to protect our hair in the summer without losing our hair?
Well, I would use a good clarifying shampoo if you're going to go swimming, or if you tend to have excessively oily scalp or hair, because that's going to help to cleanse the hair follicle. Because products, excessive oil, sebum can clog the hair follicle, and what that does is it prevents the hair from being able to grow out of the follicle. So you want to use a clarifying product or a shampoo that is specifically for cleansing the scalp like that. For instance, I have my energizing shampoo, which has salicylic acid in it, which helps to cleanse the pores. It also has eucalyptus in it, so it stimulates the scalp, so it helps to increase the hair flow, the blood flow, which will stimulate hair growth. So those are good products to use to help with that buildup that you're talking about. The other thing is, if you're going to go swimming, I always recommend that my guests, before they go in the swimming pool, wet their hair, apply a light leave-in conditioner, comb it through, and then either braid your hair or put it in a ponytail and twist it up so that it's filling the cuticle of your hair, so that the chlorine and the minerals that are in the water won't get into your hair, because those are the things that will turn your hair green, that dry your hair. They really stress the hair out. So you want to use a leave-in conditioner before you go in the pool.
I love that. Great tip. Very nice.
Yeah.
Diann, how do you feel about having long eyelashes? Is this something that's you're obsessed with like me?
I love long eyelashes. I sit there and use a very expensive mascara that has the built-in curl and just I must put on a cake it on there. So
Well, as it turns out, I saw on your website that Dawn is an extreme lash stylist. And so I'm wondering, what type of work do you do in that area?
Well, that's an eyelash extensions application. That is a really intense process. It takes about 3 to 4 hours to put a full set of eyelashes on. And how it works is there's individual eyelashes. I measure your eyelashes, the length, the diameter, and then I use the appropriate lashes after I create a grid of what size lashes I'm going to use from the outer corner to the middle, from the inner corner to the middle, and apply those according to my grid. It's one eyelash that you dip into your adhesive, and then you lay it atop, aside, or underneath an eyelash that you have isolated from the other eyelashes. That's how that's done.
And it gives you a whole new look, right? You're all glamorous and sexy.
It does.
I absolutely love it, and I've done that before. But I have a question for you about that.
Sure.
So, if it does event because your regular eyelashes can't grow, then right? Does it stunt the growth?
No, because you're putting them away from the lash base. You're not putting them right on there, so it doesn't interfere with the growth of your own eyelashes. And
So that's why
they're
when you
permanent, they do shed.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. They shed, and they're able to shed because your eyelashes are growing.
That's right.
Because, yeah, that's a big misnomer, I think.
Yes, because your eyelashes do shed regularly.
Right. Okay, well, I need that done too then.
Another one of the services that you offer, and I've actually had this done, and I know we talked about it just briefly, but not in terms of these words, but the Brazilian blowout. And that can do wonders for a person's hair. So tell us more about that, Dawn.
Well, Brazilian blowout, a common belief of that is that it's a hair straightener. And really what it is a hair smoother. It's created with amino acids that are applied to the hair. The hair is first clarified, that's applied to the hair, blown into the hair, flat iron, and then you rinse it out and you blow dry the hair again. But what it does is it will remove frizziness. It will relax a really tight curl, make it a little bit looser. And it lasts about up to 12 weeks. It depends on really what type of hair you have that you're putting the product on. And the other thing is it leaves the hair really silky, shiny, and full of movement. So it doesn't make your hair stick straight. It just makes it beautiful. It's a great service. One of my
I highly recommend it. I've had it done a few times, not now since my hair's short, but I also noticed on your website you've got a special promotion for new clients.
I do.
And I see,
yes. So anyone who goes onto our website can print out a coupon for 50% off of your first visit to our salon.
Wow. That
nice.
is very generous.
Very generous. 50%. Wow.
50%.
Very nice.
Dawn, please tell us the name of your website and how everybody can get in touch with you.
Okay, the name of my website is dawnmariesvisagesalon.com. And you can get in touch with me by calling 703-370-1777, or you can email us at dawnmariesvisage@yahoo.com. We'd be happy to hear from you and help you in any way we can.
Fantastic. Thank you for being such a lovely guest and providing all this information that's so relevant, whether it's about hair nutrition, whether it's about taking care of your hair in the sun, pampering yourself, the value of getting just a head massage, a Brazilian blowout. We could go on and on. The fabulous line of products that you have. And tell us again, where is your salon located?
My salon is located in the west end of Alexandria, Virginia. I'm in the Watergate Landmark Community Complex in the community building. And that's on Yoakum Parkway in Alexandria, Virginia.
Dawn, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. If I get down to that area, I will definitely come and see you. And for anybody who just joined, I saw on Facebook some people just joined. If you missed the broadcast, please go over to YouTube. In the search box, put in Dr. Jacalyn LLC, and then subscribe, and you can watch the show from the beginning. It will be under the playlist Fashion, Fitness, Travel, and Leisure.
Thank you so much for having me. This was such a pleasure. I really enjoyed speaking with both of you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Yes, come back and see us.
I will. If you'll have me, I'll be there. Thank you.
We definitely will. And maybe the next time you come back, we could interview you in the salon, and we could see all your fabulous products, and
Sure.
maybe do a little promotion for the salon right there.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Diann, thank you for bringing such a wonderful guest who has information that I found very relevant, very interesting.
Thank you. Well, I have to thank Rachel Boehm, who runs Yes You. She shared Dawn with me, and she's actually her hairstylist as well. So,
I love it. I love it. One connection after another, right?
Right. But I tell you what, I'm ready to go splurge and do everything from nails, feet, hair, massage, and eyelashes.
And eyelashes. Yes. I am certainly ready to. I definitely need a pedicure. Just a foot massage would be nice. I do it myself. It doesn't really work. It's not really the same thing. It's like double the amount of work or something. I'm like, please, feet. I want you to feel better. Yeah, exactly. Well, my friend, it's been a pleasure seeing you and doing the show with you, and I wish you a very beautiful weekend.
The same for you, and you take it easy, and happy birthday to your mother.
Thank you. I'll let her know.
Okay.
Take care, Diann. Bye. Oh, wow. We got so many wonderful tips. That's what I just love about today. We've had just all kinds of information on how to be better personally and professionally. Again, if you missed any of our shows today, I don't even remember if this is the third or fourth show. I know I have 8 shows today, but I'm not sure which one this is. But please go over to our YouTube channel. And thank you again to Dawn. Thank you to Diann. Our next show coming up is I Have a Story to Tell. And my guest is John Hoyt. And that's at 1:30 Eastern Time, which is 6:30 British Summer Time. So please do join us for that. And we'll look forward to seeing you then. Thank you, and have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for being here.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Story Garden. Your host, Diann Boehm. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Diann Floyd Boehm tells wonderful stories that warm the heart, spark the imagination, and unite people and families across generations. For children, Diann's Harry the Camel connects with all of us who've ever wondered how different our lives might have been if only we'd been born something better, like a wonderful horse instead of an ordinary camel. In the end, we all learn along with Harry that there's nothing better than just being yourself. Diann's Little Girl in the Moon looks down on earthbound children and wonders if they know she's just like them. A story of love, home, and the bond between mother and daughter. Its powerful theme that we're each of us different, yet all of us the same, plants a seed in children that promises to blossom within a loving and trusting grown-up. Diann's new biography, Rise, recounts the experiences of her grandmother, Ruby, to reveal the hidden strength of the human spirit. Ruby's story inspires all of us to become the best versions of ourselves. You'll find all of Diann's delightful books and much more at DiannFloydBoehm.com. Visit DiannFloydBoehm.com. That's DiannFloydBoehm.com.